Got it.
All right, everyone. Happy Friday. Let's keep it a Friday, even though it's going to be 100 degrees or so outside. Today, that's what they're telling me. Let's not make it 100 degrees in the courtroom. These are the rules of the 187th District Court. You're in a courtroom. Whatever you could not do if you were not in the courtroom, thank you so much, you cannot do on this Zoom screen. So you're not allowed to lay in bed. You're not allowed to be cooking, doing laundry, taking care of your children. If you behave inappropriately on this Zoom screen, what will end up happening is your Friday will quickly become a Monday, because I'm going to require you to appear in court. It does not matter if you're out of town, out of county, out of the country, you're going to be required to appear in court. Just one moment, let me make some people co-host. To the prosecutors, are you all co-hosts now or no? Anyone who's not a co-host?
Judge Hunter is not a co-host yet.
All right, thank you. And Rebecca, I believe I made you a co-host.
Thank you.
All right, if you are at your place of employment, you need to let your supervisor, let your employer know that you need to take a break. You need to find a location. You need to be stationary. There is to be no laying in bed on this Zoom screen. If you are laying in bed on this Zoom screen, no questions, no explanations will be asked or given. You're going to be required to appear in the 187th District Court in person. Your Zoom privileges are going to be revoked. The courtroom is located at 300 De La Rosa on the 4th floor. And what will happen is you will have to get an Uber, a Lyft, a Via, catch a ride. If you take the Via, you're going to have to find change. If you end up driving down here by yourself, what's going to end up happening, you're going to find a lot of constructions. You're going to find a lot of one-ways. And then if you're able to find parking, it's going to be expensive. To all the inmates, you are not, I repeat, you're not to use the chat box. If you use the chat box, you're going to be sent back to your cell. You're not allowed to use the internet. If you use the internet, you're going to be sent back to your cell. To everyone else on the screen, and including inmates, this is not the Bachelor, this is not the Bachelorette. You are not allowed to use this time as a chance for you to pick up dates. If any of these things happen, you will be required to appear in person in the 187th District Court. To all attorneys, If you have a plea bargain agreement, no matter how small that plea bargain agreement is, you need to put it in the chat box to the court coordinator. She's listed as Ferguson coordinator. She'll need to know what your agreement is, whether it's probation, whether it's for time, so she can get the appropriate paperwork to you. If your client is on bond, then she will need to know your client's email address. To all defendants and those accused, the name of your attorney will be called. Your name will not be called. If you do not hear your attorney's name, it is because your attorney is Zooming or had to be in person in another court. Your attorney will have a chance to appear. So attorneys, this is the order in which you'll appear. If you see your name is low on the list and you wish to go to another courtroom, you're more than welcome to do that. However, if your name is called and you're in another courtroom, what will happen is you will be placed at the end of the list. Linda Corley, Tim Molina, Patrick Philick, Joel Rodriguez, John Perez, Richard Garcia, James Seelaw, Roberto Ambrosino, Mick Aguilar, Shannon Locke, Eric Reynolds, and E.R. Baez. Is there any other attorneys whose name I did not call?
Judge, this is Jason Todd from Ramos and Del Cueto.
All right, Jason Todd. All right, I'm going to open the breakout rooms. When I open the breakout rooms, it will invite everyone to go to a breakout room. Do not go to a breakout room unless I specifically call you by name and assign you to a breakout room. To all those who are accused, your attorney is probably going to want to speak to a prosecutor before they speak to you. So please do not raise your hand and ask, should I go to that breakout room? Because if you are wanted in that breakout room, I will be told, or you will see something pop up on your screen requesting that you go to that breakout room. All right, to attorneys, those breakout rooms, they're like the doctor's office. When they call you to the doctor's office, you're not seeing the doctor right away. What they're doing is they're putting you in one of those little rooms and they're checking your blood pressure and your weight. So everyone, it's Friday. Let's not make it in a Monday. Put the patients in your pocket, take it out as needed. Attorneys, when I call your name, I'll need to know the name of your client and I need to know whether it's criminal trial division or family violence. If you are able to, you can add to your name the name of your client and whether or not it's criminal trial division. If you're unable to do that, then I will do it. Linda Corley.
Good morning, Judge. I have Irene Gonzalez. She is in custody. We have an agreement worked out with Marcus, and I have the state paperwork already completed on my side, and I've already chatted with Norma. She's going to be sending me the court paperwork, so I just need to go into a breakout room with my client and have her have the ability to share screen so that we can complete the paperwork and get the plea done today, Judge.
All right, I put share screen on, so if there's an issue, let me know. Ms. Gonzalez, Irene Gonzalez, could you raise your hand for me because we have more than one Gonzalez? Raise your hand for me, please. All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 2. Ms. Corley, I'll send you to 2 as well.
Okay, thanks, Judge.
You're welcome. Tim Molina.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning. Oh, you've already changed your name. Thank you so much.
That's right. I do have 2. Jose Garcia, who I see online, he's at the jail. It's just to see the status of his transfer to a facility.
Okay. And Ms. Ferguson, can you check on that transfer?
Judge, he was placed on the transfer list on 8/25. He's still waiting for pending transfer. His medical is cleared.
Can we talk about how Rebecca looks like James Bond at the start of James Bond movies? Remember how he's always looking through the tube and then he turns and he shoots the camera?
But now we know it's directly on her. So when are we expecting the transfer? Do we have any idea?
We don't have an idea. I asked this morning. He's just placed on the transfer list.
All right, and where is he being transferred to?
DD something, the new hire.
All right, Norma, on Jose Garcia, can you recall him in 3 weeks, but not really put it on the docket so that we won't interfere with his ability to be transferred?
Yes, ma'am.
So normally after medical clearance, it's a 6 to 8 week wait.
All
And
right,
that- He was placed on the list on August 25th, the transfer list.
all right. Well, Norma, call us back in 30 days, just so we can see.
Okay. I can do the 15th or the 22nd, Judge, of October.
All right, we'll do October 22nd. And at that time, Mr. Molina, if they have not transferred him, we'll see if we can come up with another creative location.
Okay.
Do you need to speak with him?
I don't, Your Honor, but
Okay.
my other client who I don't see on here, she's an inmate, Summer Bailey.
All right, she will probably be here shortly.
I do need to go in a breakout room with Marcus Sanders.
All right, let me put on here a request for Sanders. I'll send you to breakout room number 3. Mr. Jose Garcia, where are you?
I'm right here.
All right, Mr. Garcia, we're going to bring you back on October 22nd. If they don't have an availability ready for transfer, we'll see what else we can do.
Is there any way I could try to get me to the lifetime recovery? Because I got a CPS case and I was at the lifetime recovery before I got this case. And I wanted to go back to the lifetime recovery so I could get back on track for my son. And I got court this month, so I really wanted to get back on track for that.
I understand what you're saying, Mr. Garcia. I've done a lot of CPS cases, but I know the time frame on CPS cases is a year. What I can tell you is people who are in trouble, and when I say in trouble, I mean with their sobriety, with their mental health issues, they can't write their own program. Because if they could write their own program, we wouldn't be here because they would have written their own program, right? So I'm bringing you back on October 22nd. We will see where you are. And
Okay.
at that time, if you have not been transferred, we'll figure things out, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, and by the way, did those neck tattoos hurt?
Yes, they did.
And
Oh, gosh.
you just didn't stop. You said, I'm already in there. Let me just continue. All right.
I should have never got them.
All right, Mr. Garcia, have a great Friday. Norma, can you let them know that 14-0 can go back?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, Tim Molina, I'm moving you to breakout room number 3. Patrick Philick,
Good morning, Your Honor. How are you?
great. How's everything going with you?
Very good, thank you.
Who do you have?
I have Prudencio Rodriguez, case number 2016 CR 7341.
Criminal Trial Division or Family Violence?
Criminal Trial Division. I've been working with Marcus on this case.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 4.
Your Honor, perhaps it might be better for me to start with Officer Reyes because this is dealing with terms and conditions of probation.
All right, I'll send you to number 4. And
Thank you.
Rebecca, could you go to breakout room number 4, please? Joel Rodriguez? Joel Rodriguez?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, who do you have?
We're present, Liliana Barrios, on a motion to modify bond conditions, Your Honor.
Criminal Trial Division or Family Violence?
Family violence. And I believe this was set for a hearing this morning.
All right, I'll send you to number 5 to confer. If you all can't come to an agreement, of course, I will hear it.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. John Pettis,
Yes, Judge.
you've changed your name. Thank you. I'll send you to number 6.
I'm an overachiever, Judge.
You are. See how quickly that moves? All right. Richard Garcia.
Judge, I'm present for a couple of clients today. I have a plea that I need the paperwork for Kathy Ocampo Magallanes. And I've
All
already
right,
sent,
on Campo Magallanes.
I've already sent Ms. Ferguson the chat.
All right, Norma, I don't see that person on the docket.
Bottom third of the recall docket, Judge.
Okay, thank you. Ah, thanks. And who's your other person?
No, Judge, I was thinking it was somebody else, but it's not. It's another courtroom. I've been so swamped and I got it mistaken, but that case is in a different court. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. All right, I'll send you, do you need your client in there to go over paperwork?
Yes, Judge, she's in jail.
All right, as soon as they bring her over from the jail, because I don't see her listed on the screen. Norma,
Okay.
can you give me an ETA on her, please?
Yes, ma'am.
And I'll send you to breakout room number 7. If you'll just remain in this room, Mr. Garcia, until your client appears on the screen.
Okay.
James Seelaw.
Good morning, Your Honor. Raymond Bird. We have a plea with Meredith McIntyre. However, it has to be accomplished in County Court 1. I'm awaiting paperwork and a setting for the plea.
All right, do you want to be excused to go to number 1 and come back?
I would like to.
Is it set in one though? Did it get set for a plea?
No, I thought you were going to do that, Meredith.
All right, who's the judge in number 1?
It's
Judge
Stowe.
Stowe.
Let me just make a call. I guess
Your Honor,
but I didn't know I was supposed to set it up.
yeah, you said you were a friend of hers and you were going to get it done as soon. But I have an appointment at 10. I have to run to the office, Your Honor, a very important appointment. And I got one other matter I would like to discuss with you very briefly, set for Monday.
Okay, so on your plea, are you able to do it at 11?
Maybe 1. I don't, it's for an adoption, so it's going to take some time.
All right. So Meredith, can you, well, let me check and see if they're available. Everyone, just give me a moment if they're available for a plea this afternoon.
And my client should be on the screen somewhere.
All right, just give us a moment. We'll come back to you. Roberto Ambrosino.
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm here on Robert Cardenas. It's a motion for early termination of deferred.
Is it criminal trial division or family violence?
Criminal trial division.
I'll send you to breakout room number 8.
Okay.
All right, they can do a plea at this afternoon. Well, just one second. They're going to make sure that the court reporter is there. Nick Aguilera.
Good morning, Judge. I have Frank Garcia. He's an inmate.
Thank you for changing your name.
Well, I can catch on. I've been dealing with Meredith at the last setting 2 weeks ago on this. I saw her on the screen a moment ago.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 9.
Thank you.
Shannon Locke.
Good morning, Your Honor. I have Heather Freitag on a bond motion with CTD. I've been talking to Marcus.
I'll send you to number 10. Eric Reynolds.
Yes, Judge, good morning. I've got Joshua Bettis. He was found incompetent, Judge, back in July, and his 120-day review is going to be in November, Judge.
All right. Joshua Pettis, are you on the screen? Let me see if he's here. Is he in the state hospital?
He's at a state hospital, Judge.
All right, Norma, can you reset this for 60 days?
Yes, ma'am.
When is this 120-day review? I'm sorry, Mr. Reynolds.
Judge, he was found incompetent on July 6th, I believe.
All right, so Norma, we'll need to set it out past 120 days. We can put it on the 121st day from July. Let me see. But when was he physically placed at the state hospital? Do you know?
Judge, he was in custody in Bexar County on July 6th. I know he was transferred from Bexar County. I don't know exactly which date, though.
Norma, can you just put it at the, let's put it at the end of October, just to see where he is, because they already know before the 120 days if he's regained competency, really they know.
October 29th?
All right, so we'll set you for October 29th.
Sounds good. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, you're excused.
Thank you.
Mr. Baez?
Yes, Your Honor. How are you? I changed my name.
Thank you, I appreciate it. It's the little things. I'm gonna send you to breakout room number 11.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Jason Todd, thank you for changing your name. I'll send you to number 12.
Thank you, Judge.
Steve Harkowitz.
Morning, Judge. I'm here for Juan Ramirez. This is the second review of the status of treatment status.
All right, let me see if probation is back. Just give us a moment. Probation is still in the breakout room, so we'll see what's going on.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Is there any other attorney whose name I have not called? All right, everyone, just give me a moment. And Mr. Seelock, I'm going to check on this issue with county.
Okay, and the other matter, I'm set on Monday on Manuel Gonzalez. He has a competency hearing scheduled in Mag Court on Thursday of next week. It's supposed to be agreed to. So I was wondering if you could just drop that setting because I got a couple
Okay, it's
others.
an agreed and competency.
Yeah, but
All
we
right,
have to have a hearing.
if you'll put in the chat box to the clerks are listed as Robert Clerk, 187 clerk. Put it in the chat box to them what the cause number is so they can bring me the file.
Okay.
They're pulling the file, Mr. Seelaw. Eduardo Jimenez. Eduardo Jimenez, who do you have?
Roy Ferguson, Your Honor.
Thank you. Criminal Trial Division or Family Violence?
I have to check, Your Honor. It's been a while here on Roy Ferguson.
All right, it appears to be Criminal Trial Division.
Right.
All right, everyone, just give me a moment. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 13.
Yes, thank you, Judge.
All right, Norma on Manuel Gonzalez, 2021 CR 6657.
You said 2008, 2021, Judge?
Yes, 6657.
Yes, ma'am.
Can we recall that? And when you said it's set for Thursday, Mr. Seelaw? You're on mute.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I just got the setting right before I got on here. It's set for line 30, I think on Thursday in Mag Court. And it said agreed incompetency.
All right, Norma, on that one, can you recall it in 30 days?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, it was set on Monday. Thank you very much, because I had a couple other Zoom.
Sure.
And
we're going to get a date. And let me ask you, the plea, are you able to do the plea now or no?
no, it's too late. I have to
Okay.
get to my office, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
No problem.
The 15th, Judge?
All right, October 15th?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Manuel Gonzalez is going to be recalled for October 15th.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. He's an inmate, I'm sure. And
All right, and then if you'll come back at 2, we'll see about your other matter. Or if you're able to come back sooner, just come back sooner.
to your court,
Yes.
the same number. And can I briefly go to my client to tell him to come back?
Yes.
Thank
And
you.
who is your client? Raymond Bird?
Raymond Bird, B-Y-R-D.
All right, I'll send you both to number 15.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. All right, let me see, Mr. Harkowitz, I believe. Yes, Rebecca is still in number 4. We will find out about Mr. Ramirez shortly.
Thanks, Judge.
Joel Rodriguez.
Hi, Your Honor. We are unable, I guess, to come to a full agreement on one of my requests to modify the bond conditions, Your Honor.
All right, then the court will hear that. Let me see, which felony violence prosecutor were you working with?
Mr. Garcia.
All right, Mr. Garcia is right now in breakout room number 7. As soon as he comes back from 7, we will take that matter up. Oh,
Thank you.
and Joe Ray, I call your name twice and you appear.
Yes, ma'am.
So are you ready to proceed?
Yes.
And Brenna, here we go again. All right, Brenna, we finally have it. And let me just grab the motion. All right, the court is calling 2021 CR 5796, State of Texas versus Liliana Barrios Contreras. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Garcia.
for the defense?
Joel Rodriguez.
And are you Liliana Barrios?
Yes, Your Honor.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Barrios Contreras, any objections with this hearing taking place by video?
No, Your Honor.
All right, defense has filed a motion asking for modification of bond restrictions. State, have you had a chance to review the defense's motion?
Yes, and conferred, Your Honor.
State, do you have objections to the motion?
Your Honor, after conferring, we're not opposed to defense's motion, specifically on the request for medical appointments or appointments with defense attorney. We're also not technically opposed to asking for the work request. However, there are concerns about a blanket request to go out of state. There aren't specific dates or times on it.
All right, so then the only issue that needs to be addressed is the defendant's request to travel.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, defense is your motion, you may proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. I'll give a brief opening, and if the court needs, I can ask a couple of questions for my client. But basically, Your Honor, my client is an artist, and she makes a majority of her income attending expos. These expos take place in Chicago, Las Vegas, California, and she can earn up to $4,000 or $5,000 at each of these events. I need her to attend these expos, Your Honor. I need her to make money in order for her to pay her bills, including my office. What I propose to the court is that when she's booked for these expos and she attends these expos, that she gives immediate notice to her pretrial officer where she's traveling to, how many nights she's going to be staying there. And if the court needs it also upon arrival for her to have an immediate UA, but she earns her majority of her income.
So let me ask this question. Is the issue of her going state, or is the issue of no notification?
Mainly the no notification, Your Honor.
All right, so defense, why she can't give a notification? All of these events that you're speaking of, there is a flyer that's put out unless people are having an event in secret. So I'm sure that she would know weeks in advance whether or not there's going to be a show. Am I correct?
No, absolutely. And we're okay with that. As she has to give ample notice. That's what I was talking to Mr. Garcia about.
Okay, well,
So
it
long-
sounds like we have an agreement. Am I wrong on that?
If there's notice and proof of it, Your Honor, we're not opposed.
Okay, so there we go.
Okay, Your Honor. Well, thank you so much.
So, well, before we sign off, the question is, when will Ms. Barrios, can you unmute yourself?
Yes, Your Honor.
And could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand. Could you state your name for the record?
Liliana Barrios.
All right, Ms. Barrios, when do you receive notice of these work events? How much time out will you know that you have an event to appear at?
Well, with COVID, everything has been rescheduled since last year. So all the events have been last minute. I want to say at least 2 to 3 weeks in advance.
All right, so can you, are you able, then you'll be able to let probation know 2 to 3 weeks in advance, is that correct?
Yes, I will. I did want to say one thing. Sometimes I do travel for expos, but I also am a traveling tattoo artist where I guest spot at other shops when it's slow here in San Antonio. I have, I'm friends with most of the employees. I used to travel with them as a group for a small period of time. And with that, like,
Well,
when
Ms.
I'm not,
Barrios, let me just explain something to you with that. You have to give notice.
okay,
So if there's going to be some type of immediate travel, they're just going to have to give you at least 48 hours notice. If it's some shop that has a shortage and they need you to come, then they need to give you at least 48 hours notice, because you need to give pretrial services at least 48 hours notice. Do you understand?
yes, ma'am, I can work with that.
So for out of state travel, state, how much notice are you requesting? Because she's saying she'll know in 2 to 3 weeks. So is 2 weeks notice enough, Mr. Garcia?
I think 2 weeks would be reasonable.
Ms. Barrios, do you have issues with giving a 2 weeks notice for any out of state travel?
For the expos, no, I would, if I may, if it'll be okay for like guest spot artists, if it can be a week at least. If it's minimum, earlier you said 48 hours, which honestly, I've been deprived for not working at other shops. So if it's possible just to give a week's notice rather than 2 weeks.
For out of state?
For out of
2 weeks
state.
notice. In state, 48 hours notice. Is that doable for everyone?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Garcia, is that enough notice?
Yes, Judge.
All right, is there anything else?
No, Your Honor.
All right, have you all discussed the actual facts of this case? Where are we going with this case?
Your Honor, a plea offer has been extended and you've given my client a plea deadline.
Okay. Yes, and we will be back on September 23rd. So I'm signing the motion now. Mr. Rodriguez, if there's nothing else, you and your client are excused.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. Have a good week.
All right, thank you. You're welcome.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Just give me one moment. All right, Ms. Corley, just one moment. Mr. DeWiggins, you have Mr. Brooks.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Wiggins, what is your email address?
It's J DeWiggins, if you see how it's spelled on the screen, at dewigginslaw.com.
I sent it to you, Tom.
All right, and so, Mr. Wiggins, I'll send you and your client to a breakout room. I'll send you to breakout room number 15.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And Mr. Brooks, if you'll go to breakout room number 15, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And Mr. DeWiggins to 15. Linda Corley?
Hi, Judge. Go ahead.
Yes, Ms. Ferguson?
The coordinator in County Court 1 wants to know what time the plea is going to be this afternoon.
See if they can, if they're available for 1:30 or 2.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Linda Corley?
Your Honor, Marcus had prepared plea paperwork for us, but there is an error on it that I think we're going to have to redo the paperwork. I don't know if another prosecutor could help with it or if I need to just wait for Marcus. It's just on the judicial confession. It has the description for the case that's being dismissed instead of the case that's being pled.
Okay, we'll make sure that's taken care of. Marcus is in breakout room. Let me see. He's in number 13. I will let him know. Just give me one moment.
Okay.
All right, Ms. Corley? He
Yes,
said,
Your Honor.
said that he'll look at that and review it, and so you'll probably be receiving it in your box.
Okay, terrific. I'll go back to the breakout room with my client. Thank you.
You're welcome. Eric Baker, who do you have?
Good morning, Judge. I have just a motion to modify conditions of bond for Miss Williams. Sharona
What's the
Williams.
first name?
It's on the court's docket. It's Sharona. It's actually Sharona, but and I'll change the name on that too.
I'm doing it now.
Okay.
Is it criminal trial division?
I think it's family violence, Judge. I'm sorry, I don't know the answer to that for sure, but I'm pretty sure it's family violence. I can check.
Okay, let me look. Yes, I don't know if it's family violence or not.
Okay, let me, I believe it is. I believe it's enough.
Okay, I'll send you to breakout room number 16.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, Patrick Fillick. Patrick Fillick.
He was needing to talk to Marcus.
All right, thank
Because
you.
I told him Marcus was in a breakout room to just come and wait for him. So that way, because he was in there with me at first.
All right, no problem. Matthew Finch.
Judge, I'm waiting on paperwork from Hunter. If I may be put in a breakout room with my client so I can start talking to him about things. Mr. Lawrence.
Okay, let me find you. What breakout room were you in?
Judge, I was with Hunter in breakout room 14.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number, let me see what's available. I'll send you to breakout room number 11
Thank you, Judge.
because Hunter is still in that room. Brandon Lawrence, could you raise your hand for me, please? I'm going to send you to breakout room number 11.
Yes, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Mr. Baez?
Your Honor, we conferred with the DA and he has agreed to set a bond of $6,000.
All right, y'all will need to put that in the chat box. They know to put it in the chat box and send it to me and include you.
Okay, so you're talking to me, Judge. I got to do that. Is that okay?
No, what ends up happening, no. Here's the thing. Oh, that's funny. You were doing a taxi driver on me. I know some of the
You remember that?
not saying taxi driver. All right. So this is what will end up happening. The state will include you in an email and send to me your agreement. That you all are in agreement on this. So what is happening? Let me find your case.
Connie Ramirez, family violence, AKA Galaxy S8 today.
All right, to the clerks, I don't have the file on Connie Ramirez.
This was an add-on, Judge, by Norma.
No. I should have a file. Just give us a second. We'll get the file and we'll see what's going on.
Okay, Judge.
All right, thank you. And then Roberto Ambrosino, is the state in agreement to your motion or no?
They are in agreement, Your Honor. Well, they're not objecting. I guess that's a little bit different.
Okay. Okay.
In agreement. But,
All right, we're going to take that up just 1 second. Who's the prosecutor you're working with?
Hunter?
Let me see where Hunter is. Hunter, are you there? I think we've lost Hunter.
Who I guess was also conferring with Marcus on it. And so either way, I would assume.
All right, just give me 1 moment.
Okay.
Andres Campion, who do you have?
Good morning, Your Honor. I have Julian Salazar,
Criminal Trial Division of Family Violence.
PTD, Your Honor.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 17.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Mr. Orta, who do you have? You need to unmute.
It's Delphina Spiller, 2021 CR 5216.
Criminal Trial Division of Family Violence.
It's trial division, possession case.
Okay. I'll send you to breakout room number 18.
It is a long process before it goes to court. How are you related to him?
Oh, no problem. Oh, I think a new docket was sent to you.
Was it?
Yeah, that's okay.
Judge, is this a good time to jump in, Judge? This is Mick Aguilera.
Yes.
I visited with the prosecutor Meredith about Frank Garcia. We had a good lengthy discussion. There was new evidence that they just uploaded, video and documents that I wasn't aware of until this morning. She's actually trying to upload some more. I don't know if you remember a text from a couple of weeks ago. Contact was being made with authorities.
Yes.
And
Norma, on Garcia, is a 30-day reset enough time for you all?
I believe 30 days would be just about right.
All right, Norma, can you call Mr. Frank Garcia for 30 days, please?
Yes, ma'am, the 15th. October 15th, Judge.
All right, we'll see you back on October 15th. Is your client in custody or on bond?
Judge, I'm glad you asked. Until 3 minutes ago, I thought he was in custody. Apparently, he bonded out Monday. He is now blowing up my phone, wanting to know what to do about court.
Oh, he needs to zoom in.
Well, no, I did better than that. He claimed he didn't have a phone until like 2-3 minutes ago. So I've asked him to make his way to the courtroom.
All right, thank you. As soon as he shows up, we'll give him his reset.
Thank you, Judge. And may I be excused?
Yes.
And then I did tell him to go. He's worried about getting locked up and claiming he didn't have a phone until 3 minutes ago. But we are working towards a resolution, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so. Okay, thank you. All right, thank you. All right, is there a prosecutor available to take up the matter on Robert Cardenas' motion for early termination?
I texted Hunter and he said he would be back in 1 minute.
Okay, all right, thank you. We'll take that up then when he comes back.
Okay, thanks.
And then who was the prosecutor on Connie Ramirez?
Mr. Garcia,
Joe Ray?
yes.
Yes, Judge.
My understanding is you all have an agreement on a bond for this case?
Yes, we do. And I just sent you and defense an email.
All right, thank you. And of course, my email is working very slow today for some reason.
Yeah, mine is as well.
So what's the agreed bond to be set at?
It's at the amount of $6,000, Your Honor. And no contact with Anthony Velasquez.
And Judge, it looks like Hunter Morris is back whenever you have a second.
All right, just a moment. All right, Mr. Baez, do you have discovery on this case?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, where's this case headed? Do you have any idea yet?
I'm pretty sure we're gonna, we're gonna have to have a trial on this one.
All right. Norma, on this case, can you give them a 30-day reset and state at that time, will you be prepared to make an offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
You
All
guys
right.
got-
What date?
I can do, let me put it back. I can do it on the 14th, Judge, October 14th.
All right, so we're going to come back on October 14th.
Judge, I'm sorry, I am in federal court on the 14th, and this is in Rio, so I'm just want the court to be aware.
All right, can we?
I can do it October 12th.
Okay, October 12th.
I'm ready on October 12th.
All right, is that a good date for you, Mr. Baez?
It is, Your Honor, yes.
All right, Mr. Baez, in this court, what I require is the state to always tender an offer. I'm going to make sure that you have all your discovery, and then at that time, I'll give your client a plea deadline date.
That's great, Your Honor. May we be excused?
Where is Connie Ramirez?
She is Galaxy X8, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. You're and your client are excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Judge, this is Eduardo when you have a moment.
Yes.
I conferred with Marcus and we have an offer on Mr. Ferguson. I just need to, he's out of Houston and I need to meet with him to go over some of the issues in this case, decide whether he wants to take the offer or go to trial.
Just give me one moment on your case.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Roberto Ambrosino.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Brenna, here we go again. I don't know if it just takes the computer a long time or what. Brenna, it works. All right, the court is calling 2021 CR 0017, State of Texas versus Robert Cardenas. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hunter Morris.
For the defense?
Roberto Ambrosino.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
None, Judge.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Cardenas, do you have any objection with this taking place by video?
No, Your Honor.
Just one moment. All right, the defense has filed a motion for early termination of deferred adjudication. State, have you had an opportunity to review the defense's motion?
I have conferred with the defense, Judge.
Are you ready to proceed?
Yes, Judge.
Is there an agreement or no?
The state has no objection to defendant's application for termination if defendant is compliant with his probation terms.
All right, then that's the crux of our situation, Mr. Ambrosino. Is he compliant with probation? Has he completed everything?
It is my understanding that he has, Your Honor. He's paid off fines and fees in full. He actually, this was a 10-year deferred and he only has 6 months left. So we're not asking for, I guess, a big leap of faith here. He has done well. He's fully employed, and he just wants to be able to move on with his life at this point.
All right, Ms. Reyes, has he completed everything on probation?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Cardenas, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand. What have you learned from this?
It's basically been just a big brother to me, just helping me out throughout the years. Always checking in with me, seeing if I had anything mental, anything going on at the house. I always felt like I could come back to my probation officers at the end of the day. I feel like what I had done in the beginning, was a bad mistake, and I should have never done that. But I really have come a long way ever since, 10 years ago, approximately now.
All right, well, Mr. Cardenas, I when people come to court and they tell me that they made a mistake, I tell them, no, you made choices.
Yes, ma'am.
And I give this example so many times that Brenna just has one key that she presses. And one time I'm going to switch it up with a different color umbrella just to throw her off for a little bit. Let me explain to you my definition of a mistake. It's raining outside. I know it's raining outside, so I come to court and I bring my black umbrella. I'm sitting next to someone. They're in court. They have a black umbrella. And as I'm leaving the court, I pick up what I think is my black umbrella. I go outside because it's raining. I open it up. And when I look underneath, I realize it's not my black umbrella. That's a mistake. Let me give you the same example. I come to court. I don't know it's raining. The weatherman said it's going to be sunny. But lo and behold, it's raining outside. I'm sitting next to someone who has a black umbrella. I know it's raining outside. I don't have an umbrella. So while they're up at the bench, I take their umbrella. That's not a mistake. I knew I didn't have an umbrella. That's a choice I made. So I'm going to grant your early termination. I hope you've learned much. I hope you realize that life is really easy. People make it difficult by the choices they're making. So I hope you go forth, be a great citizen. I'm glad you successfully completed it.
Thank you. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Is there anything else, Mr. Ambrosino?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
You're welcome. Then you and your client are excused.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too. Brenna, I think I slowed down the example for you. All right. Eduardo Jimenez on Mr. Ferguson. Where is Mr. Ferguson?
He should be on by now, Your Honor. I gave him the invite.
It's Dwayne Ferguson. Dwayne,
yes.
Could you unmute yourself, please?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the state has tendered an offer to the defense. I'm going to send you to a breakout room, Mr. Ferguson.
Okay.
And Mr. Ferguson, I appreciate you following the rules of the court.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. We had one incident, and then after that, nothing else. You're doing great. All right, Eduardo, I'm going to send you to a breakout room with your client. I'll send you to breakout room number 8.
The only issue, Judge, is that we consulted about the offer on the telephone already, so I'm not sure what we're going to confer on
Let me
now.
send you to number 8 with him, and then you can come back and speak to me, okay?
Absolutely.
All right, because sometimes you need to see people face to face.
Sure, absolutely.
Thank you. Anyone else back from the breakout room?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
May I be put in a breakout room with Marcus?
Okay, let me see where Marcus. If you can go to a breakout room with Mr. Philick, let me see where he is. What breakout? You were in number 4. If you'll go back to number 4, please. And Marcus, if you could go to 4.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. And then for prosecutors, we have Kenneth Baker and number 16 on Sharona Williams, family violence for a bond issue. Andres Campion is number 17, criminal trial division. Raimunda Orta on Delfina Spiller and number 18, criminal trial division. All right, Shannon Locke and then Matthew Finch.
Good morning, Your Honor. We have an agreement. I have an agreement with Mr. Sanders on Heather Freitag and her bond. I'm going to be emailing you an agreed order and CCing him shortly.
Thank you.
And then, Judge, on an off docket issue, I've asked to waive the GPS fees for a client of mine, Jesse Jones, who was here last week. I'm going to send that agreed order also.
Okay, I think I will tell you this just so everyone can know and you can let people know. On waiver of GPS fees, I usually will sign those. The issue is I'm not allowed to waive GPS fees because it's a third-party contract. But I do ask that fees then be deferred or either that the person be placed on indigent status. But once that's given to me, and what's the name of the person, please?
His name is Jesse Jones.
All right, can you put that in the chat box to the clerks, please?
Yes.
And everyone, just give me a moment. All right, as soon as I get that, we'll take that up. And Mr. Locke, on Ms. Freitag, what are we doing with this motion?
It's gonna be an agreed bond for $10,000, Your Honor. And I can get an agreed order over to you shortly.
No, is there a motion to revoke that's been filed?
I'm not sure. So she had it. So we filed a motion to set a bond. I believe she was remanded without bond. Yes, Your Honor.
Could somebody tell me, is there a motion to revoke that's been filed on this case? On Heather Freitag?
What's the case number, Judge?
It's 2020 CR 0380W. It's on the docket.
Oh. There's a MTR, Judge.
All right, so what is happening with the motion to revoke?
Well, Your Honor, so right now she's remanded without bond. We're asking that a bond be set so that we can.
No, I understand you're asking the bond to be set, Mr. Locke, but I'm asking what is happening with the underlying case of the motion to revoke? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
So are you asking me what's happening with the new case?
No, just one moment, please, Mr. Locke.
Sure.
All right, Mr. Locke, this is what I'm trying to understand. Is this the only case she has? You're on mute.
I apologize. No, no, Your Honor, she has two cases. She has a
Okay.
case where she was arrested recently, and then the case that she was on deferred adjudication for.
Okay, so the new case that she was arrested for, what is that case?
It's a possession of a controlled substance, I believe, with an intent to deliver.
Okay, 1 to 4 grams. All right, and what's the agreed bond?
$10,000.
And where is your client? Because she's listed as a fugitive.
She is currently in residential treatment. I think she's on the Zoom.
All right, can you unmute yourself, please? All right, are you Heather Freetag? I can't hear you. Is there something wrong with audio there?
Yes, Your Honor, can you hear me?
Yes. All right, so when are we setting this motion to revoke?
So, Your Honor, our plan is to get her turned in as soon as possible, either Monday or Tuesday of next week. We're working with the residential treatment program to get her into San Antonio first thing in the morning, and then walk her through the satellite office. We could have, we could set the motion to revoke whenever the court would like.
Okay. And again, what's the agreed bond amount?
$10,000, Your Honor.
Norma, can I have a setting on Ms. Freetag for 30 days, please?
Yes, ma'am. I can do, I can put it for October 11th, Judge.
All right, we're going to come back on October 11th. Which treatment center are you at, Ms. Freetag?
I'm at the Fulbright Center.
What did she say, Mr. Locke?
I couldn't hear her, but I do have the admission paperwork. Can you? We're having trouble hearing you, Heather.
Yes, Mr. Locke, do you know which treatment facility it is?
I do, Judge. Just give me a second. Hold on. It is the Fullbrook Treatment Center, Your Honor.
Okay. And where is it located?
It is, I believe it's in Kerrville. Is that correct, Heather?
It's in Fredericksburg, Texas. Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, the court then has signed the motion. If there is nothing else, you and your client will be excused. Ms. Freetag, I'm always interested in different treatment locations to see where the different treatment locations work. So that's why I asked where you were located.
Okay, yeah, I really like it here. It's really good.
All right, thank you. Then we will see you all back on October 11th, and that should be in the system sometime today.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Should I send that, and I'll send that agreed order also on Mr. Jones, Judge?
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you.
If you have a minute.
Judge, and I also send you a chat, Judge.
All right, just give me a moment, Norma. Eduardo Jimenez, what is happening with Mr. Ferguson?
Yes, Judge, we conferred again. He's going to be coming up from Houston so we can review the discovery together. All
right, do you want to have your client come out of breakout room number 8, please?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. All right, where is Mr. Corona? Mr. Gonzalez, please stop unmuting yourself. I will get to you when it's your turn in line. I don't skip over people. All right, Norma, is Mr. Frank Corona on bond or in custody?
He's in custody, Judge. He's a L7.
All right, Mr. Corona, could you unmute yourself, please?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, your attorney is unable to be here today because of medical issues. Norma, when can we recall this?
She's asking to come back on Monday, Judge.
All right, so we will come back on Monday to take up your case.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thank you for your patience.
Yes, ma'am.
And Norma, that's L7.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Mr. Ferguson,
Yes, ma'am.
your attorney is telling me that he needs to speak with you in person.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Jimenez, when will that happen?
We have the date of the 18th of September, which is a Saturday, to go over the discovery together in my office, Judge.
All right, Norma, can you recall this within 30 days, please?
Yes, ma'am. I can do the October 12th.
The only thing, Norma, is that I'm in Disney World with my kids until the 15th. Yeah.
I hope you're going to follow COVID guidelines. Let me ask you this. When are you leaving for Disney? Because we may need to have you back before Disney.
9 to the 15th. Yeah.
All right. So that's October 9 to the 15th?
Yes, ma'am. The whole thing was my wife's idea, Judge. But
oh, now you're blaming her, but you're gonna be the biggest kid there. Okay.
Exactly.
You're gonna be like, great idea. All right. So I know you need to pack, but I know your wife is going to be doing all of that and you'll just be in the way.
That's
so
true.
Norma, can you set him for the first week in October then?
I can do the 4th or the 5th.
Either one, Norma, that's fine.
We'll do the 4th.
Okay, the 4th. Very good. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Enjoy. I've never been. They tell me it's the happiest place on the planet.
I'm going to try to be happy, Your Honor.
I don't know if that's true, but they say it is.
I'll let you know.
All right. Thank you. Have a good one. You and your client are excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. All right, Mr. Philic.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
Your Honor, I have conferred with Rebecca and Marcus, and they are not opposed to the relief that I am requesting. I have filed a motion for termination of the ignition interlock as a term and condition of probation. My client currently has a SCRAM device that does 24/7 transdermal monitoring of him. And so having the ignition interlock requirement is superfluous, really.
All right,
and
did you file a motion?
I did, Your Honor.
Okay, and so state you're in agreement?
Yes, Judge.
And the state, the clerks had to duplicate this file. So we're only here for a motion. He's been doing well on probation.
Yes, Your Honor. And Your Honor, I have submitted a proposed order on that motion. However, I have no pride of authorship. As a matter of fact, I'd probably prefer whatever the standard form the clerks usually prepare that they transmit to DPS. Because right now DPS is showing that he's got the ignition interlock requirement. I know from previous cases that they are accustomed to getting a certain form order.
I'll send you to the breakout room with the clerks and they'll let you know.
Terrific. Thank you, Your Honor.
So what device is he on instead of an ignition interlock?
He's on the Scram ankle bracelet monitor. And as I say, that does 24/7 transdermal alcohol testing.
Okay, thank you. I'll see you to a breakout room with the clerks. I've signed your motion.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. And I will place you in breakout room number 5 with your client.
Thank you, Your Honor. You have a great weekend.
All right, thank you, you too. And could a clerk please go to breakout room number 5?
Yes, Judge.
All right. All right, and are the parties ready on Irene Gonzalez?
Yes, Your Honor, we are ready.
Who's the prosecutor?
Marcus.
Okay. Brenda, I don't know why this does this. Just give me a moment. There we go. All right, the court is calling 2021 CR 7499, State of Texas versus Irene and Gonzalez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Marcus Sanders.
For the defense?
Linda Corley.
And are you Miss Irene Gonzalez?
Yes, Your Honor.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
None.
Any objections from the defense?
No objections.
Ms. Gonzalez, I'm showing you what's entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
The court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Showing you what's entitled Application for Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, I'm showing you the acknowledgement of discovery. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
I received all the discovery that I'm aware of, Judge, and I have reviewed it with my client.
The court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Gonzalez, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Judge.
Ms. Gonzalez, I'm going to show you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand what you're charged with is possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 4 grams to 200 grams? That's a second-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement, it gives you more than you've bargained for. The fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
She has, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
Yes, I do.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, I do.
Ms. Gonzalez, has anyone threatened you, forced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. I'm showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney, and did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 5 years. There are no recommendations from the state. The state will take in consideration 647072. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement? Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was unmuted, Judge. Yes. Yes, it is. And Marcus, I sent you a chat.
All right. State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Judge.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counselor, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor, there have not.
Then Ms. Gonzalez, to the offense as charged in the indictment, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest, Your Honor.
State, any evidence to support the defendant's no contest plea?
Yes, Judge. State offers State's Exhibit 1 and its attachments.
Any objections?
No objections, Your Honor.
Ms. Gonzalez, I'm going to show you what's entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing state's exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Judge, I did want to talk with you about that. If it depends on what the court would like to do. Ms. Gonzalez would like to be a part of drug court. And so I don't know if the court would rather have her interviewed for that and do a PSI before making that decision. She's never had drug treatment, and that's really what brings her here today. I think that we talked, and she knows how arduous the program is, but she heard about it there in jail, and she really believes that is the tool she needs to be successful, not just on probation and parole. She's on parole right now, but for a lifetime, so she doesn't end up in a revolving door, something to help her to address and handle and cope with her disease.
All right, so then what we'll do is we'll set this for a sentencing on a different date. I'll have her interviewed for felony drug court, and I believe felony drug court may have a graduation by then. There's currently a wait list for felony drug court. So I'll ask for a TAP. Evaluation by felony drug court, although here's the problem. If she has any type of pending parole, any type of case that's open, felony drug court is not going to be able to take her while that's pending.
Yes, Your Honor, and she does. She will have to wait in jail. Even if she's given probation, she'll have to wait in jail while she has her parole hearing, and we would hoping to be able to let them know that she's wanting to do drug court and hoping that she would have been accepted by then. But I understand what you're saying about the open cases.
I will tell you, felony drug court, if they do decide to accept her, and if I do decide to place her on probation, then felony drug court will send a notice to me and probably a notice to you that will say she's been accepted to felony drug court, but she can't attend because of that open case. And that's something you can give to her parole officer.
That would be a very good thing, Judge.
All right, so I'm going to request a TAP evaluation and an evaluation for felony drug court while in custody. And Ms. Ferguson, what day do we come back?
Give me 1 second, Judge.
All right, and everyone, just give me one moment, please.
It'll be like October 11th, Linda.
That works for me.
Okay.
Is there any way we could, I don't know. if we
Everyone,
have a
just give me a
probation
moment,
officer.
please. If everyone can be quiet, just give me a moment. All right, so Ms. Corley will be back on October 11th at 9 a.m. And Ms. Gonzalez, it'll be by Zoom. If you are released, something happens and you end up being released, you'll need to appear you'll need to appear in the courtroom. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and it's 187 District Court, 4th floor, 300 De La Rosa, and you'll need to be here at 9 a.m. if you are not in custody.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, if there's nothing else, I'll close the record.
No, Judge, it's just, I know it's probably not, but is there any way for us to do it over a shorter time frame? I know that once we get the sentencing completed, if you do grant her the opportunity to do this, we then have to wait for the parole hearing. I don't know how long that's going to take, so.
No, I mean, the parole hearing has to be done anyway, because felony drug court won't accept her. And October 11th is the earliest date because there's a backlog.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, Ms. Gonzalez, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1 with your attorney. And probation will meet you there to go over conditions.
May I be excused from there, Judge?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Your Honor.
You're welcome. Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay. Jason Todd.
Yes, Judge, we have reached an agreement, and I think we're just waiting to sign the appropriate paperwork regarding a plea over the Zoom.
All right. If you'll put that in the chat box to Ms. Ferguson.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Matthew Finch.
Judge, I've signed all the paperwork for a plea bargain this morning for a record probation. If I may be put in a breakout room with my client to have him sign it.
All right. Where is Mr. Lawrence? Is he in custody? Yes.
He is, Judge.
All right. If you go back to breakout room number 11, he's still in number 11.
Oh, okay, Judge. Thank you.
Okay. Steve Harkowitz.
Yes, Judge.
Yes. Yes. What's happening with your case?
Well, I've been waiting to, I guess, for probation regarding what the treatment status is for Mr. Ramirez.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Just give us a moment. We're going to find out that right away. Let me send you, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1.
Okay.
And that's where probation is. Mr. Orta. You're on mute.
If you can send me to the breakout room and confer with my client, Your Honor.
All right. I'll send you to 17. And Ms. Spiller, if you go to 17, please. Andres Campion.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
I've conferred with the state, and we've received a new offer, and I think my client would, if we could reset one more time just for a plea.
Where's your client?
He is on bond, and he was in the breakout room with me just a second ago.
Okay.
There he is, Julian Salazar.
And why can't we do this today?
Well, I think he wants, we received the new offer today. And I think he wants to just a little bit of time to contemplate it, but we would like to reset just one more time and probably do the, if he's going to accept it, it would probably need to be an in-person because it's a time offer.
All right, who is the prosecutor on Julian Salazar?
Under Morris, Judge.
All right, can I see you and Mr. Campion in breakout room number 2, please?
Yes, Judge.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Julian Salazar, can we recall this?
Yes, ma'am.
September 27th.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Salazar, you'll need to be here in person on September 27th. That's your plea deadline date. The court will not extend the plea deadline date any further. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so we'll see you on September 27th. You'll need to be here in the courtroom at 9 a.m. It's 187th District Court, 300 De La Rosa.
Okay, thank you.
Your
All
Honor,
right, thank you.
Your Honor,
Yes.
would the court like us to execute the paperwork electronically or hard copy in person?
If it's easier for you all electronically, I know it's easier for the prosecutors if you do it electronically because
Okay.
they'll be on Zoom.
Then I will email Hunter. That way he has my email address and my clients.
All right, thank you.
Thank
Can
you.
you let Ms. Ferguson know your client's email address as well?
I will CC Ms. Ferguson.
Thank you. All right,
Thank-
Mr. Salazar, you are excused.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
You have a good weekend.
Thank you, you too. Eric Baker?
Yes, Judge. We're ready whenever the court is to proceed on our, we just have a motion to amend some of the condition of Miss Williams' bond.
All right, who's the prosecutor we're working with?
Mr. Martin?
All right, and then Luis Martinez, I'll send you to breakout room number 5.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
And Mr. Martinez, your client, does he have family violence as well as criminal trial division?
Yes, he does, Judge, and that's been driving the train.
Okay. All right, which prosecutor were you conferring with?
I've conferred mainly with Joe Ray on this case.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 2.
Thank you, Judge.
And could a criminal trial division prosecutor go to number 2 as well on Ramsey Gonzalez? Then. All right, the court is calling NIMAG number 622537, State of Texas versus Sharona Williams. Could I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
David Martin.
For the defense?
Eric Baker for Miss Williams.
And are you Miss Williams or Miss Flemings?
It's Fleming Williams.
Okay. We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No objection.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor, no objection.
Ms. Williams, do you have any objections to this hearing taking place by video?
No, ma'am.
All right, defense has filed a motion to modify a delete bond condition. State, have you had a chance to review that motion?
Yes.
State, are you ready to proceed?
Yes.
All right, state, are you in agreement with the motion or no?
Not at this time. We'll leave it up to the court. This is one of those family violence cases that wasn't sent over to family violence, so I just don't have enough information to agree on it. But we'll leave it up to the court.
All right, Mr. Baker, it's your motion. You may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. Your Honor, I'd like to just clarify what we're asking for in this case. Miss Williams was put on full house arrest as a condition of her bond, and she is has young children in the house, school-age children, and the full house arrest has prevented her, at least she was told that by pretrial services, from taking her kids to school or to the doctor. And that's all she's asking the court for, Judge. These would be during business hours, during the day, school hours. and she would let her pretrial officer know when she's going, et cetera. The kids, she's having trouble getting the kids transportation. And so that's why she asked me to bring this motion. She'd like to be able to do those things. Am I correct, Ms. Williams? That's what you're asking the court for?
Yes, Mr. Baker.
Okay. I don't see anything that is wrong with that. However, Mr. Baker, the court doesn't have an order attached to your motion.
Oh, I'm sorry, Judge. That's an oversight. I can send one through right after this hearing if that would work to Norma.
No, I'll see if I can have the clerks. To the clerks, could you print a B page on night mag number 622537, please?
Judge, thank you. I normally try to remember to put those orders on there.
No problem, but I appreciate the fact that you put the offense in your motion. Many times I have motions and there's no offense listed. All right, then this is the court's ruling. She will be allowed to transport her children to and from school and attend all medical appointments upon proof being provided to pretrial services.
Judge, we really appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome. And state, I only have what I have on the case, which is the defense's motion. Is there a no contact order in place or a particular area that she's not allowed in?
There is a no contact order already.
Yes, and Ms. Williams is aware of it. She's been abiding by it scrupulously, Judge.
Yeah, and since we haven't contacted him, I don't know exactly where he's staying at right now. The address that we have is the address where the incident happened.
Oh, Ms. Flemings, I will tell you, usually attorneys don't want their clients volunteering information, but Ms. Flemings, you know who you're not supposed to have contact with. You know which locations you're not supposed to be at. If something happens and you detour from your children's school that takes you to the locations where you're not supposed to be, the court is going to receive a report of that. And what's going to end up happening, we're going to be back here on a violation report. Do you understand?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, if there's nothing else, we will close the record and that order will be in the system today.
Judge, thank you very much. Everybody have a good weekend. Thanks, Dave, also.
All right, you too. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. All right, Mr. Orta.
Yeah, let me confer with the state again, Your Honor.
Okay. Who are you conferring with?
It's Tibet.
Who?
Timothy.
Who's Timothy?
It's
No,
Timothy.
I don't know who that. It's. I know he's Canadian. I don't know his. That's what I heard. I don't know.
You just made my Friday. Thank you so much. Bringing sunshine and happiness. Timothy from Canada, if you go to breakout room number 6, please. Oh my goodness.
Number 6.
Yes. I'm
Thank
sorry,
you.
16. I'm, having a hard time.
There it is.
Rooms through my tears of laughter.
There it is. Look at the name.
All right, and everyone, I have some paperwork I'm filling out.
Judge, before you go, can I go to 144? I'm still waiting for paperwork from my client.
Do
So
I
can I
get
go-
about to submit it right
No,
now?
it's being submitted now. Do not leave, Mr. DeWiggins.
Okay.
All right, and Brandon Lawrence, I'm going to send you in a breakout room number 1 so you can be sworn in. And Mr. Harkowitz, if you could go to breakout room number 1, please. Or have you already been sworn? Have you already been sworn in, Mr. Lawrence? All right.
No, ma'am.
Okay, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Harkowitz.
Yes, Judge, I conferred with probation and was informed that Mr. Ramirez is still awaiting labs. She said that they went there one time and due to some maintenance at the jail, they weren't able to draw labs, but and they're supposed to go back on Monday, which is concerning because he's been there about 8 weeks, and once he clears medical, he's still looking at another 6 to 8 weeks, according to the probation officer.
All right. Well, what we'll do is we'll find out what the status is on felony drug court because he was ordered to be evaluated by felony drug court as well. So we will come back in 2 weeks and see where we are, Mr. Harkowitz. Mr. Ramirez, could you unmute for me, please?
Push down the space bar to unmute yourself.
All right, Mr. Ramirez, I'm going to need you to be patient. I know you've been there for a while, but if you don't get the treatment that you need, you're not going to be successful on this probation. And we're here and their conditions were altered and amended because of your violations while on probation. So just be patient with us. We're trying to get things moved as quickly as possible. As you can imagine, there are a lot of people who need help, a lot of people who have issues. And so there's a backlog and there are not a lot of people who are available to work through the backlog. So we're moving as quickly as we can. But if I don't give you the help that you need, you could potentially end up going to prison for 10 years because you may end up having another motion to revoke from the same issues. So we're trying to move as quickly as we can. We're going to recall you back in 2 weeks so that I can make sure that the process is still rolling. Okay?
Yeah. I was also going to say.
That's yes.
They already paid my bond. I'm waiting for a monitor. My mom, she told me that she was going.
No, Mr. Ramirez, you're going to remain in custody because you're going into a facility.
All right.
Okay. And it's designed to help you because I want you to be successful on probation. Otherwise, you would not be on probation. And you were placed to probation before, at least by another judge. And so I want you to be, no, actually you were placed on probation, I think by Judge Contreras. But I want you to be successful on this probation. You've already had a motion to revoke with me, not once, but twice. So you had a motion to revoke in December 9th, 2020. I heard that. And then you had one in July 2021. So I don't want you to end up being a statistic, end up going to prison, and then see you later. I'm trying to get you the help that you need. So just be patient, all right?
So you're saying in 2 weeks I'll be called back?
Now, in 2 weeks, we're going to come back and see where we are. Norma, can I have a 2-week reset, please?
Yes.
Okay, wait a minute. First off.
I'm just trying to go home.
You come back on the 27th, Judge.
On when?
The 27th.
All right, we'll see you back on September 27th.
Okay.
You're welcome. Norma, 14M can go back.
No.
Thank you, Mr. Harkowitz, for your patience. It's appreciated.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes. All right,
Judge?
yes,
You said 4 to 6, right? Because I went in there.
no,
and there was
16.
16, my mistake.
That's okay, Timothy.
Oh, Timothy.
But it's spelled Timothy. Timothy.
All right, Mr. Todd.
Yes, Judge, sorry, just making sure I wasn't on mute. We have an agreement in substance. There's a few details we need to work out on our end. I'm wondering if we can have a short reset and come back for a plea.
All right, have you conferred with the state?
I have. I talked to Mr. Garcia and he had no objection to that. Up to a 2-week reset, Judge.
All right, Norma, can we have a 2-week reset on Mr. Klein?
Yes, ma'am, the 27th.
All right, we'll be back on the 27th.
All right. Thank you, Judge. May we be
You're
excused?
welcome. Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Klein, you're excused and I'll call you on the phone.
All right, Luis Martinez.
Judge, I've conferred with both family violence and CTD and my client. My client's not interested in a plea offer at this time.
Okay, and I thought you all were going to confer it. Let me see you all in a breakout room.
Sure.
Let me just sign this just one moment. To the clerks, I'm sending Miss Bailey. Miss Bailey, if you can go to breakout room number 1, the clerks will swear you in. And Mr. Molina, if you go to 1, and then they will meet you there. And Mr. Martinez, what breakout room were you in? Or did you zoom out and zoom back in? All right.
Yeah, I got kicked out.
All right, if you can go to breakout room number 3, and if I could see the prosecutors who were conferring on that case in breakout room number 3, please.
Which case is that, Judge?
It is Ramsey Gonzalez.
Okay. Sorry. Ms. Norm, are you there?
Yes, sir.
What's the word on our hearing today?
I have no idea. Arlene Gay's here, right?
Is she? Oh, she is. Okay.
She's here.
Yes, I'm here. Magic.
I was looking for the wrong attorney's name, so that's my mistake. Mr. Orta, are you in here?
You can message Teresa.
Yes.
Can you chat me your email and your client's email, please, sir?
Okay. Let me call her. Or can we have her and send her to
I'll send you both to room 5.
sounds good, thanks. So it's gonna be Tuesday.
Yes.
Okay, and it's jail court, is that in person or through Zoom?
All right, who are the parties on Brandon Lawrence?
Eleanor Morris.
Good morning, Your Honor. Matthew Finch.
All right, the court is calling 2021 CR 8205W, State of Texas versus Brandon Lawrence. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Eleanor Morris.
For the defense?
Matthew Finch.
Thank you. And are you Mr. Lawrence?
Yes, Your Honor.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
None, Judge.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Judge.
Mr. Lawrence, I'm going to show you what's entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor, and yes, Your Honor, and yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Counsel, I'm going to show you what's entitled Discovery Acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Lawrence, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And
Yes.
did you sign it?
Sorry for interrupting. Yes, Your Honor, I did, and yes, Your Honor.
No problem, Mr. Lawrence. Mr. Lawrence, next I'm going to show you a document entitled Waiver of Indictment, Reading of Information and Rights under Article 1.051 and 26.03 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor, and yes, Your Honor.
All right, off the record for a moment, Brenna. Mr. DeWiggins, do you need to be in a breakout room with Mr. Brooks? Okay, we're back on the record. Mr. Lawrence, did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to have a grand jury hear the evidence in this case and make a decision on whether or not to hold you over for trial or indict the case? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor, I understood.
Did you understand your attorney has certain rights, namely 2 days from the presentation of the information and 10 days from the presentation of the information to prepare for trial? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor, I understood.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor, I understood.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, I did.
Off the record for a moment. To the clerks, if you could go to breakout room number 1 to swear in Ms. Magallanes. Back on the
Judge,
record.
they, on Magallanes,
Yes.
they're missing one of the plea bargain papers on.
Okay,
39.
if you go to breakout room number 1, the clerks will let you know what's missing and they'll send a chat box to the prosecutors.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, we are back on the record. The court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived indictment, reading of information and rights under Article 1.051 and 26.03 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. Next, I'm going to show you what's entitled information. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, I did, and yes, I understood.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the information?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the information as presented?
Yes, Judge.
All right, Mr. Lawrence, I'm going to show you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor, I did with my attorney, and I do understand it, and I did sign it in all the right places.
All right, did you understand you're charged with possession of a prohibited weapon school? That's a 3rd-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor, I understood.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor, I understand.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor, I understood.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor, I understood.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Lawrence, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor, nobody has.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, fully.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor, I am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. I'm showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, I did review it with my attorney, and I do understand it.
According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 3 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine. There's no application for deferred adjudication. The state recommends community supervision. Take in consideration NIBAG number 605709 There's to be no contact with San Antonio Independent School District to include schools, events, offices, and property. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement, Mr. Lawrence?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
It is, Your Honor. I was my impression that the fine would be probated, but that is my understanding of the agreement otherwise.
All right. Yes, it does have that the fine is probated.
Thank you, Your Honor. That is my understanding.
Thank you. State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
It is, Judge.
Next, I'm going to show you the paragraph entitled waiver repeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor, I did, and I do understand it, and I did electronically sign it.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. State is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 3 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 120 hours of community service restitution, MIC mile evaluation, and referral to felony drug court. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state? The court does not have to follow those recommendations.
Yes, I understood.
Then to the offense as charged in the information. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest, Your Honor.
State, any evidence to support the defendant's plea?
State offers states one attachments, Judge.
No objections, Your Honor. No, Judge.
Mr. Lawrence, I'm going to show you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor, I understand.
All right, off the record for a moment, if I could see defense counsel in state and breakout room number 4, please.
Yes, Judge.
And Matthew Finch, let me find you.
Good. Here I am, Judge.
Which breakout room were you in, Mr. Finch?
Judge, I was in 11.
Okay. All right, I'll meet you in 4. Everyone just give us. All right, Mr. Lawrence.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hi, we are back. Just one moment. Let me find your attorney. Okay, where's Mr. Harkowitz? I'm sorry, Mr. Finch.
Yes, Judge, I'm here.
Okay, I couldn't see you. You were lost for a little bit on the screen for me. All right, we're back on the record. The court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. The court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor, I'd ask on behalf of my client to waive a PSI and honor the plea bargain today.
All right, anything you wish to say on behalf of your client other than you want the court to follow the plea bargaining agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, my client, he does have a stable house. He has a girlfriend out there that's been in touch with me. He also has a job that he still has been able to hold on to. His boss has been holding on to him for a couple of months since my client's been in custody for a while. It's in the commercial construction business. He renovates hotels, but he does have a plan to be successful, Your Honor. There's been a request to have a TAP and the McMilf evaluation. He will cooperate with those, though I don't think that he's going to be a good candidate for those just because of his personal situation, but he is ready to put this behind him and accept responsibility and successfully complete a probation.
All right, you say you don't believe that will be a good fit for him because of his personal situation. What do you mean?
Well, Your Honor, I don't think that he has a drug problem that would warrant any type of drug treatment program, and he does not to say he's been diagnosed with any type of mental health issues, but he is willing to accommodate the DA and their concerns based on the situation to go through that process to rule that out.
All right, Mr. Lawrence,
Yes, Your Honor.
why were you at this location?
Your Honor, I was passing through and they had plugs right there and I needed to charge my phone to be able to get a hold of my girlfriend. So I sat down to charge my phone. It was the wrong idea. It wasn't a smart thing to do. It was after hours on a school ground that was a private school I didn't even know, but I needed to charge my phone nonetheless. But I know what I had and I know that I shouldn't have been there doing that. Regardless of
why would you charge your phone there? I think the county, I don't know how much the county paid for these cell phone booths that they have all over the city. I know it was more than $1 million. They all have charges there.
Sorry for interrupting you. Actually, it was where I live at. It was next to the Salvation Army. That school is right there. So I was just going through there real quick to let her know that I'm on my way home from work. And within that 10 minutes of being right there, they already had me on camera and they were on their way.
Okay. Just one moment. Okay. All right, and if the chat box could be checked, please. All right, Mr. Lawrence.
Yes,
do you
Your
have
Honor.
any children?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
What are their ages?
I have a 5-year-old and a 13-year-old.
And where do they live?
Both of them stay with their mothers.
Okay, and is that here in Texas or out of state?
One of them is out of state. One of them is here in Texas.
All right, have you ever used drugs in the past?
Yes, Your Honor, I have.
And what drugs have you used in the past?
In the past, I've smoked marijuana and I've used meth.
All right, when's the last time you smoked marijuana or used meth?
The last time I smoked marijuana was when I was at like 21, 22. And methamphetamine was before my last sentence of I went to state jail. I had some on me when I got caught, It was a drug possession I had, but I was actually carrying it for the person that was with me when I got caught.
Yes. Thank you. And who is this person who was with you, Ramon Carrillo?
He was actually just I don't know how to explain it. It's on the street life, I guess, just an acquaintance from being out there on the street.
All right, and were you homeless at this time?
Yes, I was in between, but I had a job.
Okay, if you're homeless at the time, what is this thing about I need to call my girlfriend and let her know I'm on my way home from work?
Yes, Your Honor, to her house. She had her own house. I did not. I was not living there. I was just staying there with her anytime that she would allow me to.
All right, and have you ever been diagnosed?
No, Your Honor.
Then state, is there a reason for the request for the evaluation? Or is it just because of the nature of the offense?
Sorry, I was muted. I believe that there was some evaluation done while in custody that indicated the presence of some mental health concern. Let me pull that back up just to verify.
All right, Mr. Lawrence, I need you to be honest with me because the state is in agreement with your counsel that you be on probation. If I place you on probation, I want you to be successful on it. I don't want to place you on probation just to have you fail. So I need you to be honest with me so that I can set conditions that will hopefully help you be successful. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So have you ever been diagnosed with anything?
The diagnosed, Your Honor, like as in like a doctor or somebody tell me something. Only
Yes.
back when before I went to prison, they had a counselor, mental health doctor here see me.
Yes.
This is when my mother passed away. That was the only time they put me on medication of a Zoloft back then. But it's not. I never seen an actual doctor in the world or none of that. Just here at the jail, if you come in and you tell them if you've been sexually assaulted or anything when you were younger, which I went through some of that, then that's the only time that I've ever seen any type of mental health counselor.
Okay. All right. This is what the court will do. There's a $1,500 fine. It will be probated. 3 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 3 years. Take in consideration NIMAG number 605709. There's to be no contact with San Antonio Independent School District. That includes the schools, events, offices, and property. So part of what that means, Mr. Lawrence, is that if there's a football game or basketball game or something going on, you're not allowed to go there. If your child is involved in a basketball game, football game, volleyball game, or whatever, you're not allowed to go. If you want to go, then you'll have to get permission from the court.
Okay, Your Honor, is that just during the 3 years, or if once I complete my probation, am I allowed to attend them?
Once you've completed probation, these conditions no longer apply to you.
Okay, I was just checking that.
But not after hours. That's my recommendation from you.
Yes, Your Honor.
120 hours of community service restitution. 40 hours of that will be waived if you obtain the COVID vaccine or have obtained the COVID vaccine. I want the record to be clear. I'm not requesting or requiring anyone to get the COVID vaccine. That's completely up to you if you want to go out in the world unvaccinated. But if you do obtain the vaccination, or if you've already obtained the vaccination and you provide proof, 40 hours of your community service restitution will be deducted. I'm going to require proof of employment within 30 days of release.
Your Honor, and is that with just with the check stubs or with my boss being able to?
Probation will let you know.
Okay.
There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or any employment involving minors.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to do a MIC evaluation. UA upon release from custody. So there shouldn't be any positive UAs. If there's a positive UA, Ms. Reyes, then I'm going to want outpatient treatment with probation. Are you able to report by Zoom, Mr. Lawrence?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, there'll be regular Zoom reporting or in person. So if something happens and you can't report by Zoom, you're going to have to do it in person. There's to be no contact with just 1 second. No contact with Ramon Carrillo Jr. And that's Carrillo. I'm going to want field visits, random, 2 times per month. Rebecca, is there anything else that Mr. Lawrence needs?
No, ma'am.
And the MIC evaluation can occur while he's out on bond or out of custody. Mr. Lawrence, is there anything else that you need from the court in order to be successful?
No, Your Honor. I just wanted a real quick question on to report by Zoom. I can be able to just do that on a regular phone, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that was it. That was my only question, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Mr. Lawrence, I'm going to show you a document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney and did you understand it and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor, and yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand, Your Honor.
And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand, Your Honor.
All right, with that, we'll close the record. Mr. Lawrence, you need to make sure that you follow all of my conditions. You need to make sure that you meet with probation on all of your conditions. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor, I understand.
All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 3. I need you to be patient in that room. And Mr. Finch, do you have somewhere else to be, Mr. Finch?
I don't, Judge.
All right, if you could wait patiently in breakout room number 3 with Mr. Lawrence, because we can't have inmates just in the breakout room by themselves.
I'll do that, Judge.
Thank you. Probation will be there shortly to go over conditions. All right, who are the parties on Summer Bailey?
Right here, ma'am.
I'm here, Judge.
Who's the prosecutor?
So Marcus Sanders.
And Mr. Sealaw?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm here on Raymond Bird to see if there's a plea set up for County Court 1.
Yes, they may, let me see. They may be able to take you now if you can get on their Zoom now, you and your client.
Okay, what's the number? I'll go do it.
Ms. Ferguson, can you get that to Mr. Sealoff, please?
I'm sorry, Judge.
If you could speak with Mr. Sealoff in a breakout room and get him the Zoom link to go to County Court number 1 to take care of his plea.
Oh, they thought you, okay, Judge, I'll talk to him.
All right, because I received a text from them said that they can do a plea in the morning as well, but I didn't expect Mr. Sealoff to be back.
I rushed back, Judge.
Thank
Okay,
you.
we're under, Judge, can I see you in the breakout room, please?
Yes. Everyone, just give me a moment. I'll see you in number 2.
Yes, ma'am.
Can't hear you.
Was it Marcus Sanders, Mr. Molina?
Yes, Judge.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right, everyone, just give me one moment. All right. Court is calling 2021 CR 7574, State of Texas versus Summer Bailey. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Marcus Sanders.
for the defense?
Tim Molina.
And are you Summer Bailey?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No objection.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Bailey, I'm going to show you what's entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Counsel, I'm showing you the acknowledgement of discovery. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Bailey, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Judge.
Ms. Bailey, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you understand what you're charged with is aggravated assault with a deadly weapon? The range of punishment for that offense is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I understood.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court would find you guilty, sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
We have discussed it, Your Honor. Yes.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Bailey, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. I'm showing you what's entitled plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement, there's $1,000 fine probated, affirmative finding of deadly weapon. State recommends deferred adjudication. Taking consideration 661860. There's to be restitution of $150 to Richard Cantu, and there's to be no contact with Richard. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Defense is at the plea bargain agreement.
Yes, Your Honor.
State is at the plea bargain agreement.
Yes, Judge.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled waiver appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that are filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. The state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 3 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation, 100 hours community service restitution, and a MIC-MILF evaluation. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Then to the offenses charged in the indictment, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest, ma'am.
State, any evidence to support the defendant's plea?
Yes, Judge. State offers State's Exhibit 1 and its attachments.
Any objections?
No objection.
Ms. Bailey, I'm going to show you what's entitled wavering consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am, I have.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
The court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. The court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. After reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, the court will defer finding of guilt as you apply for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
I just point out that Ms. Bailey has no criminal history at all. She does have diagnosed mental health issues. And I believe schizoaffective disorder and PTSD. And this was an isolated incident. And she certainly meant no harm to this individual. And I think it's kind of clear even from the facts that she was just experiencing an episode. And we just asked the court to follow the plea bargain. And I know she can do it.
Yes, sir.
All right, Ms. Bailey, where would you be living if you were released today?
I live at an apartment and my roommate just ended the lease and October is the last month there. And then she got a house on the east side, but I'm not sure the new address. The current address is 111 West Travis Street.
Okay, let me ask you this. Have you ever been under the care of a doctor?
Yes, ma'am. I have a mental illness. I take medication.
All right, and are you still seeing that doctor before you were taken into custody?
No, ma'am, I got to go to the Center for Healthcare Services. So my doctor had recently quit there, and I was getting ready to see a new doctor, and I missed my appointment.
Have you ever been employed or are you receiving SSI?
I receive SSI now. I have been employed before in the past, and I am currently on disability.
And what is that disability for?
Mental health.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to send you to $1,000 fine. That will be probated. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. Taking consideration 661860. Restitution of $150 to Richard Cantu. No contact with Richard Cantu. You're going to have a referral to Center for Healthcare Services. 100 hours of community service restitution. If you obtain the COVID vaccine, the court will deduct 40 of those hours. Again, for the record, I'm not forcing anyone to get the vaccine, but if you get the vaccine or already have the vaccine and provide proof, I'll deduct 40 hours of your community service restitution. Proof of SSI within 40 days of release. Are you able to report by Zoom, Ms. Bailey?
I can figure it out once I get my phone.
Right, so it's going to be regular Zoom reporting or in person. So if something happens and you can't report by Zoom, you'll need to report in person.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to want field visits 2 times per month. And those will be regular field visits instead of random, Ms. Reyes. I don't want to disrupt Ms. Bailey's treatment. Ms. Rodriguez, Ms. Reyes, is there anything else that Ms. Bailey needs?
No, ma'am.
All right. Ms. Bailey, if you do employment, because I know sometimes SSI, you can work maybe part-time. You're not able to be employed as a home health care provider or any employment that involves minors. You understand?
Yes, ma'am, I understand that.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am, I have.
And I'm sorry, Rebecca, could we also do a MIC evaluation, but that can be done while she's out of custody? Right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right, we can go off the record. Ms. Bailey, it's very important that you make all of your appointments with probation. If you don't, I'm going to receive a report that you haven't made those appointments, and then there's going to be an issue because a motion to revoke is going to be filed, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Mr. Molina, I'm going to need you to hang around for a moment because I have one more plea to do, and probation needs to hear what those conditions are. So if you could wait with your client in breakout room number 2, because I can't have inmates in that room by themselves, we will get you squared away.
Judge, I had one other issue not related to Ms. Bailey. I believe the clerks brought you a motion I filed earlier on a night mag case, Taylor Ayala.
Yes.
She has a GPS. She has court order visitation at a specific place. It's all listed in the order. We're just asking that she get permission for the exact times this weekend to travel to and from the visitation center. She did it last weekend. I think Judge Ronhell signed off on it and there was no issue. And then, but the thing is, like, she has them for the next 3 weeks, but the times change. So I was seeing if there's a way that I can get approved that she go to that center and that she supply the times once she gets them, rather than have to do this every Thursday for the next.
All right,
month.
if you will do me a favor, if you will craft an order with that in that.
It is. It's attached to the motion.
No. You're saying you want to see if this can be on a regular basis instead of having to come back, correct?
Yeah, but I think I worded it that way in the order. At a time, I think I put like at the time supplied by Ms. Bailey, or I'm sorry, Ms. Ayala to adult probation. So that once
All right, let me do these, please, and I'll read over your motion to see if it says that.
Okay,
All right, thank you.
Mhm.
And if you would go to that breakout room, please.
I will.
All right, thank you. All right, who are the parties on Kathy Magallanes?
Judge, this is Richard Garcia. I represent Ms.
Judge.
Magallanes.
And I know I'm mispronouncing the name. Forgive me in advance. I have problems with double L's, Richard. They tell me it's a Y, but I don't know.
Just pretend it's a ya. Magallanes.
Magallanes?
Exactly.
Okay. Who is the prosecutor on this?
I'll be doing it, Judge.
Thank you. All right, the court is calling 2020 CR 3942 and 2020 CR 2515, State of Texas versus Kathy Magallanes. Could I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Meredith McIntyre for the state.
For the defense?
Judge Richard Garcia for the defense. Ready?
And are you Miss Magallanes?
Yes, Your Honor.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Magallanes, I'm going to show you two documents entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video Conference. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them? And did you electronically sign them?
Yes, Your Honor.
And each of the cause numbers, the court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. And
Yes,
each
Your
of the
Honor.
cause numbers, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Community Supervision. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you
Yes.
understand them? And did you electronically sign them?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Garcia, in each of the cause numbers, I'm showing you what's entitled Discovery Acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review that discovery with your client?
Yes, Your Honor. I believe I have, and I did review it.
In each of the cause numbers, the court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Everyone, just give me a moment. Mr. DeWiggins and Mr. Brooks, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1. The clerks will let you know if they have all your paperwork. All right, back on the record. Ms. Magallanes, in each of the cases, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, we do, Judge.
Stating cause number 2020 CR 3942, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Waiving count 1, proceeding on count 2.
Any
No.
objection?
No objections, Judge.
And in 2020 CR 2515, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Magallanes, in each of these cases, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them? And did you
Yes,
electronically sign them in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand in cause number 2020 CR 3942, you're charged with the offense of tampering with a government record? And in cause number 2020 CR 2515, you're charged with possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 1 gram to 4 grams. Each of the range of punishment in each of those cases is anywhere from 2 to 10 years and up to a $10,000 fine, and they're third-degree felonies. Did you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And each of the cause numbers, if you have a plea bargaining agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargaining agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargaining agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And each of the cause numbers, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call them the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
And each of the cause numbers, do you understand by entering this plea bargaining agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And each of those cause numbers that you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case.
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, in each of those cause numbers, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to the offense?
Yes, she has, Your Honor.
In each of the cause numbers, do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
Yes, Your Honor, she does.
In each of the cause numbers, do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Magallanes, in each of the cause numbers, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
In each of the cause numbers, has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter the plea?
No, Your Honor.
In each of the cause numbers, are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
In each of the cause numbers, are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
In each of the cause numbers, the court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial.
Yes, Your Honor.
In each of the cause numbers, I'm showing you what's entitled plea bargain agreement. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you
Yes, Your
understand that page? What is that noise? It's coming from her end?
Yes.
You never, that's okay. Things happen at the jail. All right. Did you review the pages in each of these cause numbers that's entitled plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. I did.
And did you understand
Yes, I did.
the
Yes, Your Honor.
agreement?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Okay. And cause number 2020 CR 3942, according to the plea bargain agreement, the state is proceeding on count 2. Punishment is to be assessed at 3 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine. State opposes any applications for deferred adjudication. State recommends community supervision. This will run concurrent with 2020 CR 2515. State will take in consideration the following county court cause numbers: 612-170, 629-860, 662-374. And there's to be restitution to Matthew Dory, MATHEWDORY, and 2020 CR 2515, according to the plea bargain agreement. Punishment is to be assessed at 3 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine. State opposes your application for deferred adjudication. State recommends community supervision. This will run concurrent with 2020 CR 3942. Take in consideration county court cause number 612-170, 629-860, 662-374. There's to be restitution of $57 for drug testing. No harmful or injurious contact with Philip Chacon and Stephen Magallanes. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement in both cases?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement? You're on mute.
Sorry, Judge. Yes, it is.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
In each of the cause numbers, I'm going to show you what's entitled waiver repeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, yes, I did, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, there have not, Judge.
In each of the cause numbers, I'm showing you what's outside the plea bargain agreement. In each of the cause numbers, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 5 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 100 hours of community service restitution, felony theft course, CPS compliance if applicable, proof of employment, and full CPS compliance if applicable. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then in cause number 2020 CR 2515, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
And then cause number 2020 CR 3942 to count 2, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence to support the defendant's pleas.
State offers State's Exhibit 1 and all attachments for both cause numbers.
No objections, Judge.
Ms. Magallanes, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulation in each of the cause numbers. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony?
Yes, Your Honor.
And each of the cause numbers, the court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same.
Yes, Your Honor.
And each of the cause numbers, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor, we're asking that you waive the PSI and sentence Ms. Magallanes today.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor, this is her first felony offenses, and she is, well, I would imagine she could have applied for deferred adjudication, but she's taken responsibility. So we're asking that you follow the plea bargain agreement.
All right, Ms. Magallanes, who is Jeffrey Cavazos?
He was one of the people that I was in the vehicle with, a friend of mine, their cousin. I don't know him personally.
All right, it appears that a lot of people get into vehicles with people they do not know.
My friend was supposed to, the one that was driving, supposed to drop me off and take me home because I didn't have a vehicle at the time.
Oh. So here's my question. Do you have an open CPS case?
Yes, I do.
Why do you have a CPS case?
It was with my husband at the time in 2018.
No. People just don't get a CPS case because of their husband. So
it was with him, between both of us for family violence.
there has to be more going on. So
Sorry.
is there drug use?
At the time, yes.
All right, so here's the thing, Ms. Magallanes. Let's not play word salad or word games. I need you to answer my questions because I have to set conditions so that you can be successful on this probation. So let's stop pretending that these problems don't exist. Everybody is on this journey called life, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're just hoping that at the end of your journey or that you can see improvements in yourself throughout the journey.
That would be great. Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So in order to improve throughout your journey, you have to acknowledge certain things. And just because you're a person at one point in your life doesn't mean that you can't change. So I need you to be honest with me. So what drugs were you all using?
I was on methamphetamine.
How long?
About a year.
Okay. How old are your children?
15, 14, and 10.
All right. And where are they now?
They're with foster care.
Okay. Who's your CPS attorney?
Stephanie Wilkins.
All right. So here's the thing. If you're going to try to successfully complete CPS, the conditions that they have, you should know your attorney's name. Your attorney should be on speed dial because you're trying to get your children back, and children are supposed to be the most important things in your life. You understand? Or I shouldn't say things, people. All right. So 2020 CR 3942, $1,500 fine, probated, 3 years in prison, suspended and probated for 3 years. No contact with Jeffrey A. Cavazos. This will run concurrent with 2020 CR 2515. Take in consideration County Court Cause number 612170, 629-860, 662-374. Proof of employment within 15 days of release. no employment as a home healthcare provider or with minor children. Oh, I'm sorry. That's 3 years probation, suspended and probated for 5 years, not 3 years. 100 hours of community service restitution. I'll deduct 40 hours of your community service hours if you provide proof that you've had the COVID vaccine. I'm not forcing you to do it. If you do it, you'll get 40 hours reduction. The felony theft course. CPS compliance. Referral to felony drug court. If not accepted, then intensive, well, let's just start with intensive outpatient treatment with probation. I'm going to want random field visits 3 times per month. Regular Zoom reporting or in person if you can't report. And I'm going to want the UA hotline. Rebecca, is there anything else that she needs?
I don't think so.
All right. And Rebecca, of course, if CPS is providing her some type of drug treatment, then I will be accepting the treatment that CPS is providing. And cause number 2020 CR 2515, the court will sentence you to 3 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 5 years. $1,500 fine, that'll be probated. This is run concurrent with 2020 CR 3942. Taking consideration county court cause number 612170, 629-860, 662-374. No harmful or injurious contact with Philip Chacon and Stephen Magallanes. Restitution of $57 for drug testing. 100 hours community service restitution. 40 hours to be deducted if you provide proof of COVID vaccine. And again, not forcing you, that's completely up to you. But if you do, you'll get those credits. CPS compliance. And I'm going to ask for parenting classes. If CPS is giving her parenting classes, then great. If she fails at CPS, I still want parenting classes then. Proof of employment within 15 days. No employment as a home healthcare provider or with minors. Intensive outpatient treatment with probation. Random field visits 3 times per month. Regular Zoom reporting or in person, and the UA hotline. Rebecca, is there anything else that she needs?
No more.
All right, Ms. Magallanes, in each of these cause numbers, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them, and did you electronically sign them?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And because these are felony convictions in each of these cause numbers, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. Ms. Magallanes, your children didn't choose you as a parent, but you're their parent. So you need to make sure you do what's expected of you. I know Mr. Garcia has done plenty of CPS cases, and the worst thing is when children are expecting their parents to get custody of them back, they think their parents are doing what they're supposed to do, and then it turns out their parents are not doing what they're supposed to do. You understand?
I do understand, Your Honor.
All right, here's the thing. People always cry when they're at the jail. Save the tears. Do what you're supposed to do to be a good parent. Your children are depending on you. I'm I'm going to send you to a breakout room number 3. And Rebecca, you can go to number 3 and go over conditions.
Judge, I just wanted to clarify, so total, she's responsible for 200 hours, 100 on each?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, I'll send you to number 3. Mr. Garcia, you can go to number 3, or either you can be excused.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, Mr. DeWiggins and Mr. Brooks.
Yes, Judge.
I'm here, Judge.
Who is the prosecutor on this?
Well, it was Tom, but
Yeah,
Mr.
John
Morris.
Stanton, 100 more.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. DeWiggins, I'm going to need you to take notes on what I'm ordering so that you can go into the breakout room and give that to Rebecca. So far, Mr. DeWiggins, only one attorney has said everything that I've said in the breakout room, and that's been Nathaniel Navy. So I'm depending on you.
All right.
Don't mean to put a lot of pressure, but I am putting pressure. All right, the court is calling 2021 CR 7353, State of Texas versus Ramon Brooks. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Morris.
For the defense?
James DeWiggins.
And are you Mr. Brooks?
Yes, I am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
None, Judge.
Any objection from the defense?
None.
Mr. Brooks, I'm going to show you what's entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video Conference. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am, I did, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
The document was reviewed, Your Honor.
Speak up a little bit, please.
Counsel, I'm showing you what's entitled Discovery Acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case? And did you review it with your client?
Yes,
I have, and I did.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to appear by video conference. The court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Brooks, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Proceeding on the lesser included offense of theft from person, a state jail felony.
Any objections?
No objection.
Mr. Brooks, I'm going to show you what's entitled Court Admonishments. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am, I did sign and review it with my attorney.
Did you understand that what you're charged with is theft from a person as a state jail felony? The range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, that was understood.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, that's understood.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you are giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
Did you understand the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication? If for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, that was understood.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
He has.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do, and he was.
Mr. Brooks, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am, Your Honor.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, I am born and raised.
All right, the court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. I'm going to show you what's entitled plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, that page was reviewed with my attorney.
According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of theft from a person, $1,000 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication. Will take in consideration County Court Cause number 634-848, 654-311, 660-733, and there's to be no contact with Mr. Ice Cream Shop, SHOPPE, and no contact with Cynthia Gutierrez. Did you understand that to be the agreement?
Yes, that is understood, Your Honor.
Defense, is that the agreement?
It is.
State, is that the agreement?
Yes, Judge.
Next, I'm going to show you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in both places?
I did, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, that's understood.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, there have not.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. The state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 3 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 80 hours of community service, restitution, and a MIC-MILF evaluation. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations? Mr. Brooks?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
All right. Did you understand that?
Yes, I did understand.
All right, then to the offense as, well, to the lesser included offense of theft from a person as a state jail felony, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
I plead no contest, Your Honor.
State, any evidence to support the plea?
State offer states one and attachments, Judge.
Any objections?
No objection.
Mr. Brooks, I'm going to show you what's entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, the document was reviewed and signed, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, that was understood.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same.
Yes, Your Honor, I did. No contest.
All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, the court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client, Mr. DeWiggins?
Yes, Your Honor. At the time this occurred, he was homeless. He just had hit rock bottom, was desperate. He wasn't under the influence of any intoxicants at the time. He just simply was at his wit's end and desperate for money. And that's just when this event occurred. And he's shown remorse to me for it. And in my dealings with him, it's clear to me that this seems to have been a one-off situation, and I do believe he will be successful in deferred adjudication.
All right, Mr. Brooks, do you have a place to live?
Yes, ma'am.
Who are you going to be living with?
I will be living with a friend of mine from high school, and he'll be allowing me to stay with him as long as I come up with some funds for roommating per month.
Okay, where are your relatives?
My relatives may have moved to Atlanta, Georgia this summer, but on behalf of my own, I need to contact them to get to be in touch, but they were planning to move this summer.
Well, did they let you know when they will be leaving?
Yes, it was this June of 2021.
Well, is the plan for you to go with them or are you staying behind in San Antonio?
I'm staying behind in San Antonio.
What do you have here? Why are you staying behind?
I want to continue my culinary skills, and also I'm interested in modeling as well, but culinary more so to start my own business.
When's the last time you were employed?
I was employed last year. I was working for a company, Costa Solutions.
It's okay, it's okay.
This is a company behind HEB. This is a warehouse company,
Yes, Your
and
Honor.
I work for them.
All right. Have you ever been diagnosed with any type of mental health issues?
No, never been tested for.
Okay. And I always tell people there's no shame in that. I don't know why people feel ashamed by that. You know, whenever you need help, you need help. The key is getting help. Okay. Have you ever used drugs before?
Yes, ma'am. For a very short time.
What drugs have you used?
Marijuana occasionally is the only drug I use.
All right. This is what the court is going to do. And Mr. DeWiggins, if you can write this down and make sure the probation officer gets it. Let her know that he's going to be on deferred adjudication for theft from a person as a state jail felony. 3 years deferred adjudication, $1,000 fine, probated. Take in consideration county court cause numbers 634-848, 654-311, 660-733. No contact with Mr. Ice Cream Shop, that's SHOPPE. No contact with Cynthia Gutierrez. Proof of employment within 20 days. No employment as a home healthcare provider or with minors. MIC evaluation. Out of custody. Random field
The
visits.
best of my logic, so to say, I need to be more.
One time per
I
month.
need to be more thoughtful as far as my actions goes. That's all.
Regular UAs. Mr. Brooks, I'll allow you to report by Zoom, but if you can't report by Zoom, it needs to be in person.
Yes, ma'am.
80 hours of community service restitution. If you obtain the COVID vaccine or have the vaccine and provide proof, the court will deduct 40 of those hours. I'm not forcing anyone to do the vaccine. It's completely voluntary, but if you do it, 40 hours will be deducted from your community service restitution.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anything else that you need from the court to be successful, Mr. Brooks?
No, ma'am, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am, Ms. Boyd.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, that's understood.
All right, we can go off the record, Mr. Brooks. Throughout your life, you need to realize that many things can happen if you try to steal from someone. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, if there's a problem, you can go to Salvation Army, you can go to Sam's, you can go to churches. People will help you. You understand?
Yes, ma'am, Ms. Boyd.
All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 3. Be patient in there. Probation is going over conditions with everyone.
Yes, ma'am. My patience will come due.
Oh, thank you. All right, so if you'll go to number 3, and everyone else, the court is going to take its break, and we will be back at 2 o'clock.
Wait, Judge, what if I have a quick announcement?
See you at 2. I'm sorry. All right, Mr. Brooks, if you can go to breakout room number 3 for me, please.
Yes, ma'am. I will be joining momentarily.
All right, thank you. And I'm going to stop the live stream.